morning, folks. It's Monday, April the 4th. I meant to do a weekend update. I had an issue with the software for this video recording software, so I had to do a little workaround and do an update, and yeah, I never got around to it. So here we are doing a pre-market short market wrap as of Friday's close. Yeah, we had the start of a down move, but like everything else in this market, it seems to get stick saved for a higher purpose, and we continued up. We closed right around. There was a high, I think, might have been on Wednesday or Thursday, that we slightly exceeded by Friday's close. So the entire drop was taken back. It was a very bullish response to support. I can't really find any news catalyst item that explains it, other than the fact that people bought stocks on weakness. So I'd like to illustrate some of that by showing the market map, which shows the internals, bigger picture. What we've got here is we actually rallied hard on flat to negative advanced decline on NYSE. It was slightly positive by the end of the day on NASDAQ. SP 500 ended positive. Usually what you'll see when they rally on very thin issues, meaning on very few stocks, there's thousands of stocks in both the NYSE and NASDAQ, in each of the NASDAQ and NYSE indexes. What you'll see is they'll generally rally when things are getting thin and near a top, that they'll rally on very few issues, and those issues you'll be able to see that they're rallying them on the big names, SP 500 and NASDAQ stocks, and a few select Russell stocks, some Dow stocks. Well, since there's only 30 in the Dow index, it's easy to buy all of those. So rather than buying an even match of 3,000 stocks, it's easy to buy a couple hundred stocks and rally the whole market. So, we're seeing negative breadth, but we're seeing new highs. So that usually is a picture that ends up badly, because it means that there isn't broad market participation in the market, that some key larger players are keeping things afloat. But we'll have to, we can't really, if you're shorting, we took a small short on Thursday, and half of it played out, and then the other half got run over when we made new highs. So we're still lightly short, but I'm not looking to front run this. I'm looking to, I'm not looking to pick up pennies in front of the train tracks, in front of a steam train that's about to come. We may well go higher. Certainly price action is arguing the case well that we're going higher. So where the turn is going to come from is very difficult to determine. Volatility was up and ended down. Volatility got crushed. We had on Thursday the start of VVIX, the volatility index, actually went green. And things were starting to look good for a turnaround. We got our initial 20, 30 points down, and then we came right back up. So we have huge contango. I've seen it go lower. I've seen us go into 15% contango before, but it's very rare, and usually marks around the time of a turn as well. But for right now, if you're long volatility, you are seeing some pain, because the negative roll yield that this contango situation creates is huge. VXX will lose a lot every day just on these roll yield losses, even if the futures prices don't move. All right, what are we going to get to? Block trades. We're going to wrap this up quickly because we need some time before market opens. Yeah, so we saw some big prints on SPY end of the day. The biggest one being the 6.3 million print, pretty much right at the high at close. We saw some other smaller prints, 1 million, 1.5 million prints, that sort of thing. 1.6 million print there. Levels 206.45 for the big print, 206.91. We are above that now. but barely. So, I don't know whether that was selling yet. We're not going to be able to determine that until we see price maintain above there. I think, opening volatility, you're usually going to get a move below, a move above, and you're just going to have to look for something to hold. If this holds and we go straight up from there, then obviously there are fresh buys. But I'm thinking after such a long sustained rally that they're fairly likely to be sells, but we can't, we're not going to front run that again. We're just going to have to wait and see. Really, there's some prints previously, but no big sell prints on QQQ. And no big sell prints, although a lot of small prints, no big ones on IWM. And IWM chart looks quite bullish still. So, don't marry shorts here. I mean, as tempting as it is to short every sort of new high, I like to wait for things like this to print. These are a fairly good indication that there's some, market moving changes ahead. Some big players see a turn coming, likely. Otherwise, they wouldn't get out or in. The only reason somebody's going to buy at the high of day, is if they think that there's another massive, several point, we're going up to 210 or something on SPY, which is quite possible. But pullbacks haven't lasted long, that's for sure. Let's look at the volatility space. We saw what looks like probably, price is above, but we saw a reasonably big print, at least for XIV. XIV doesn't see the big prints that VXX does. Curiosity here on VXX is we saw quite a few in the millions of prints, 1746, 1721, 17, I think the 1750s. We popped above there, almost $1 above there, and we look quite good for a turnaround. But again, market turned on a dime, and we're below those prints now. So we're not going to, think too much about this. We're not going to be bullish on VXX until we can get above these prints. It was about roughly 1750, I would say. I don't know if much is happening. I haven't actually looked at the metals. Not too much is going on in the metals front. All right, so we saw a little buy at the bottom here, and then we moved up, but nothing to speak of yet. The big interesting print, of course, comes in after hours on a Friday. Is 3 million print of UNG, right at the low, pretty much. And where are we? These are natural gas futures. We gapped up, and we're keeping on going. We're above the psychological $2 line now on natural gas, so I think we're going to have to remain bullish on nat gas until we can see price below the 650-ish level. But I think that's going to hold for a little while. Natural gas seasonally, it's not a good time of year for natural gas. We're coming up on spring. Natural gas usage goes way down, certainly in this pocket between using air conditioning in the summer and heating in the winter. There's a lot less natural gas used, so storage levels generally go up and price goes down generally, but every dip on natural gas in the last couple of weeks has been bought. So, and we'll just use this print as a line of demarcation, and we won't think about it too much. Bullish above this level. I think that's pretty much all I want to cover today so far. A quick one, pre-market. We're going to watch the prints very closely today and tomorrow and see if we can see some more distributive prints on highs. So we may very likely get another local high, but I want to see distribution and price start to turn down below those big prints before I really want to get short. So I want to stay out of trouble here. This is a very tricky point in the market where things go up and up and up on very thin breadth, and it's a very dangerous time to trade. It's a good time to be in cash until you get some confirmation that things are actually going down. So there you have it. Monday, April 4th, pre-market wrap. Okay, so thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.